So I'm thinking about marriage and what marriage is about, and I suppose why people get married. And I'm wondering, in my case, why did I get married and why did my wife want to marry me? And I'm kind of at a loss as to why my ex-wife now saw me as a good marriage partner. And the reason I'm confused is because I don't know if I was a good husband in a way. I don't know if I performed my job as husband particularly well. I don't know basically what I did as a husband. I don't know what I offered her. So I am confused as to what marriage is about and what she achieved by marrying me. I'm not sure if I did well as a husband. I've had memory loss due to brain injury, so I don't remember the details of my marriage. But I don't understand how I offered much to her to be worth marrying. So I was married and I've had two children. So there was obviously a worthwhile relationship going on. But I do struggle now to understand what it was I was offering her as a husband. This made me wonder what a husband does and what marriage is about. So initially, I am struggling to understand why she would marry me because I don't understand how I offered enough to be worth marrying. I've had memory loss, so I just don't remember details. But when I think now about my nature and my behavior and whatever, I don't understand, very frankly, why she married me. I don't understand how I offered enough to be worth marrying. And it's made me wonder what marriage is about, why I got married, and I'm trying to understand how I behaved and why that behavior was worthwhile to my ex-wife. I don't know what I did to be worth marrying. I really don't understand right now how I interested her and what I offered as a husband. As I think now, I don't know how to behave as a husband. So I'm divorced now and I've had a brain injury, which means I've lost memory. So in a sense, I am starting from scratch thinking about what romance is about. And I'm thinking, if I was to be interested in romance again, what could I offer a new partner? And I do struggle to understand how I could be worthwhile to a woman. I don't know what I would offer to be worthwhile. I don't think I'm necessarily a particularly easygoing person. I'm probably approaching being selfish, and I don't know if I'm particularly thoughtful about what my potential wife is like. I don't know if I would think about my future wife a great deal. I just don't know if I could offer a potential wife very much in terms of attention or consideration or thoughtfulness. I am surprised that my former wife got enough from me to be worth marrying, because I'm not positive that I was particularly giving in my nature. I suppose I don't understand how I could offer enough to be worth marrying. So in a sense, I'm surprised that she married me. Because I am wondering now what marriage is about. And in my case, I'm wondering how I offered enough to be worth marrying. I do struggle to understand how I could be thoughtful enough and romantic enough to be worth marrying. I suppose, in other words, I'm not sure if I'm a particularly romantic person who would enhance my wife's life and be worth marrying. I'm basically surprised that I offered enough to be worth marrying, in the sense that I'm not sure how I would improve my wife's life enough to be worth marrying. I wouldn't say that I was selfish, but I'm approaching being selfish, I suppose. As in, I'm not that thoughtful about what my wife would be thinking. I don't believe I was considerate and thoughtful about my future wife, or my wife rather. I'm surprised that I offered enough in terms of attention and thoughtfulness to my wife. So I had 2 children with my former wife. So she must have received enough from me in terms of love and attention and thoughtfulness. There must have been a worthwhile relationship with her. But I do struggle now, as I think, to understand what it was I offered that made me a worthwhile husband for her. Because I do struggle to understand how I could be romantic enough to be worth marrying. Things are difficult now because I've lost memory due to my injury. But I still would have thought that I could understand what I offered as a husband. As things stand now, I do struggle to understand why she married me, basically, and why she bore 2 children. I'm basically not sure what I offered her as a husband. With my memory loss, it is a strange situation to try and understand my past and understand my behavior as a husband. But just thinking about it now, I'm not sure how I was able to offer enough to my ex-wife to be worth marrying. So I'm surprised, in other words, why she married me and why she had 2 children with me. It's very frustrating that I can't remember how the marriage went. I can't remember any details at all. All I remember is that I was married. And I remember the names of my children. And that's pretty much where it ends in terms of my memory. So I was married, so she wanted to marry me. I had 2 children, so that obviously went well. Fathered went well. So I obviously offered enough as a husband and as a father. But I don't understand how I offered enough. I struggle to understand how I could be worthwhile as a father and a husband. I obviously was, but I just don't understand how. It's very frustrating to no longer have memory. I would so much want to understand what I offered as a husband, and I suppose what I offered as a father. I wish I could understand